Hey, I'm back with part 2. I'll be taking the small map I made in the last video and extrapolating a number of variations. You can see here the basic formula I used. Once created, these tiles can be put together for much larger map designs in a more arbitrary fashion, such as here. Or even much larger dungeon mazes, like here. Here I'm going to offset the image to allow it to tile seamlessly. This will need to be done separately for the tree and the ground layer, and any additional layers if you have some kind of more complex setup. Here I'm working to match the bottom tree layer with the top. Making use of the same methods as in the last video. With the tree layer done, I'm moving on to the ground layer, and you can see here that the top and the bottom doesn't match very well at the moment. I'm gonna take elements from the original image and try to reincorporate them to get a nice blend. There's a bit of trial and error here to figure out what works and what doesn't. I'll speed this section up to save some time. One thing to try to avoid, at least for this map, it's a forest, is repetition. You want to try to avoid straight lines, the very obvious look of tiles, I guess. Alright, a quick demonstration of how this image looks when it's tiled on its own. And although the initial map I created was more of a curved passage, a four-way junction would definitely be the easiest tile to start with as a template. All the variations will consist of creating different blockages on the sides of the tile here. Okay, here I am creating a blockage on the tree layer for east-west movement. Once this is done, I'll do the same thing on the ground layer. I'm just running through some permutations here so you can see how this can be laid out. For example, if I wanted to create a tile that allowed passage to the right and top, I need only add in the barriers at the left and the bottom, as well as a variant on the ground layer. And you can make these as simple or as complex as needed. For example, it might make sense to create 2 or 3 different variations. If you plan on using these same tiles, these same shapes again and again, you might, to avoid repetition. Of course, this all depends on how big you expect your maps to be and the look you want to achieve. After the first forest map video I did last week, I had some people asking about lighting and shadow, particularly. So for the next video, I think I'll do something to do with lighting an indoor scene of a building, I don't know, a cavern or a room or something like that. So I'll try to have that up in the next week or 2 weeks or something like that.